Stop 90% of your lying and your life will transform. Lying. We all lie. Every day, throughout the day. External lies, white lies which we use with good intention to avoid conflict, ethical lies which we use for the greater good, cultural social lies which we use to please others, lies of omission often used if we are in the public eye, media, or politics, bald-faced lies which we use to get attention, fabricated lies which we use for exaggeration purposes, internal lies, lies of denial which we use to falsely comfort and delude, lies of fantasy which we use to mislead ourselves, comfort ourselves, lies of blame which we use to avoid accountability, responsibility, and lies of unworthiness which we use as a means of avoiding the challenges of true growth and transformation. Bottom line is, if you stop lying to yourself and to other people, it will improve your life. It'll improve your spiritual growth. It'll improve your spiritual aspirations and longing to live a happier and freer life. It'll just improve your world. But it's a bit of a paradox, a bit of a catch-22 regarding the way that one actually goes about stopping the lying. In order to notice and to see that you are lying all the time, one has to become more aware of it, more attentive of the lying. But in order to become more attentive and aware, you have to stop lying. So at some point you have to draw a line in the sand and say, I want to be more authentic, I want to be more real, I want my life to flow a little better, to be easier, to be happier. And so that being the case, you have to decide consciously that you're going to stop lying. Easier said than done. Lying is endemic to our personality and to ego. It's built into our biology. I wrote in the book that evolutionary biologists have theorized that lying just was easier than fighting. So it became a default mechanism of survival. Lying was just easier. So we have that built into our DNA. Unfortunately, it's no longer serving our evolution and our lives at this point. And so I think that in order to consciously grow in awareness, one has to stop the lying. That mechanism of biology no longer serves us. So how does one do that? There's no silver bullet. There's no silver bullet. You can write down all of your lying. You can journal. You can really be honest and truthful with yourself, finally. And where can you do that is in writing it out. And what is it that you are missing? What is it that you are longing for? What is it that isn't right that you want to fix? And see if there are any lies that you've been telling yourself about this situation. Or are there other lies? Perhaps to do with your family or with work or with the quality of your life, your relationships, etc. And write that out. Write it out and again be brutally and fiercely real and authentic. And don't let that be a moment where you lie to yourself. Let that be the moment where you were brutally honest in this writing, in this journaling. So that's one method of becoming more honest and having less lies in your life. Another method, of course, is just trial and error and seeing that it sucks. I remember when I was in high school, I got into some trouble with regards to driving to school, and then once I was at school, driving friends around, and I got in trouble with my parents and the principal, and I was no longer allowed to drive my friends around. And so, of course, I did it anyway, and was caught by the principal. And then I lied to the principal. I told him that, oh, my parents gave me permission to do this, and that just caused all sorts of drama, and it was just a big mess at home and with the school, etc. And I learned my lesson. It just was more hassle than it was worth. It's like, paying for things with a credit card. Eventually, you're going to have to pay that shit back with interest, usually lots of it. So I decided early on that in a general sense, big lies and lying to get what you want, self-serving lying, just was not my cup of tea. It was just not worth the drama and the bullshit that it created. So that is another method that life will serve you up. Go ahead and lie and see how that works out for you. Not the best way to learn that lying is not something that is going to serve you. But many people do that, and they still think that they can get away with it without paying back the credit card with interest. Spiritual growth just doesn't work without mitigation of lying. Because if you're all the time presenting to yourself and to the world this surface level of a false self, that is a hurdle and a boundary that you will not get through, because real spiritual growth requires a type of fierce honesty, a brutal honesty. And if you are all the time on a surface level where you're trying to be positive all the time, or you're lying to your boss about little things, or you're lying to your relatives and friends about little things, that just adds up. And it can add up to a almost insurmountable quality in the personality and ego where that's your default modus operandi. And then it will very much so create a boundary between you and any aspirations that you might have for a happier, freer, spiritual badass, peaceful life. So one of the truisms of understanding lying and coming to terms with it is that the truth hurts. And that's a big grown-up principle, that sometimes the truth hurts, and we don't always want to hear the truth, and we always don't want to tell the truth. But eventually, if you get over that initial hurdle where you've created a situation where there's chaos and drama and bullshit because of lies, sure, the truth is going to hurt. It's going to collapse things and cause some pain. But then once all of that is taken care of, once that is, you have cleaned out your lying attic a little bit, you will find that life is much, much easier, much better. And you will find that inner peace that you are looking for. I think the final bottom line is that stop 90% of your lying, and you will see that your life transforms. That's the bottom line. Stop 90% of your lying, and your life will transform.